What is the one sentence a woman told you that has stayed with you? Either good or bad. You are more attractive than you seem to realize. It was a very nice thing to hear coming out of the dumps of a divorce. That's awesome. I hope that gave you a little self-esteem boost, and I hope you can now see your attractiveness. While I'm still not sure how attractive I am, or am not, that whole eye of the beholder thing, it definitely did give me a shot in the arm. You're the voice I hear in my head to calm me down when I'm feeling overwhelmed. My wife told me this the day her medical residency class had a wellness seminar. They asked each resident to think about the voice that they channel in their mind when a patient or the work is getting too overwhelming. I was hers. Mission accomplished. Damn, that's a beautiful concept. This is the most beautiful thing I ever heard. I hope I find love like this someday. That could be the highest compliment I've ever heard someone give. I hope one day I could be that person for someone. I had a fun time on this date, but I didn't really feel a spark. I unintentionally got so happy because this was the first time a girl was honest with me instead of ghosting after the date. Wouldn't dating be so much easier if people were just honest? I had a fun time on this date, but I don't find you attractive. Trust me, better to hear that on the first date than to hear it 2 years later after you walk in on her. My principal in high school, you will never amount to anything in this world if you don't change your destructive ways. I had a gun in my backpack in my locker. I was going to shoot 4 guys that jumped me the week before on my walk home from school. I lived in a heavily populated gang area. I told the principal I needed a ride home from school for the rest of the year. She didn't ask why. Her husband came and picked me up every day for the rest of the year. Saved my life. Eat it, I wasn't going to shoot other students at school. The people that jumped me were adults in their late 20s, early 30s. Shout out to the principal and her husband for helping you. Oh yes. She and her husband moved to Vermont to retire. I got word he passed away 2 years ago. I flew my wife, 3 children, and myself to Vermont from California as a show of respect for them, some 32 years later. When we paid our respects to her in church, her jaw dropped because she recognized me. She hugged and cried on my shoulder for a very long time. When the church session was over, I introduced my wife and kids to her. As her daughter told me, she came back to life and found her joy again. Just made myself cry typing that. She saw that tree she planted long ago bear fruit. That is what some live for. We are lucky to have them, and you showing her that you became a responsible adult was her reward. I have never felt I am somebody's reward, so she blesses you again. Every teacher lives for this. I'm a high school math teacher. I noticed a kid was not acting herself for 2 days. I kept checking in with her, but she just said she was fine. I didn't believe her, so I had the counselors and social worker check in on her. She had written a suicide note and had made a plan. Because I said something and the school stepped in. She got treatment. She wrote me a letter and told me in a sea of people I made her feel seen. She then signed up to take my year-long app class, a significant challenge for her just because she wanted to be in my class for a year. She is now thriving in nursing school and in a happy relationship. I'm just so proud of her. I ran into her a couple months ago. She was working as a hostess at a restaurant I went to with my family. She came around the hostess stand and pulled me into the tightest hug. It was awesome. Teaching is a job. I do it for the money, but these moments are the best. Yeah, that's right. Good move, teacher. So much respect for these actions. I was a public school kid. All of my children have attended private school. There's a difference in pay and effort. The real deal is you can't save them all. Sucks. You are a badass. My case manager when I was in rehab told me she didn't think I had what it takes to stay sober. She was right initially. I relapsed within a month of getting out. Been sober over 10 years now though, and sometimes I wish I could find her to show her where I'm at now. Maybe she truly didn't have faith in me, or maybe she just recognized that I was someone who would hold on to that and want to prove her wrong. Edit. Just wanted to add that she was wonderful and I admired her a lot. In retrospect, I feel like her statement was somewhere between cautionary and pleading with me to get my shit together. I don't think it was meant to be damaging, and I have no hard feelings about it. Clarice, if you're out there, thank you for everything you did for me in 2011. 12. You checked boxes I didn't even know existed. An older woman I dated in my mid-20s. I realized then that I had it. Huge confidence boost with women and at work. What did you check boxed? Oops, meant boxes. Oh yes, but like, what did she mean by it? How did you blow her mind? Oh man, the thing is, I don't know how to even say it. I struggled with myself. E-team after I had a really nasty breakup. My ex was the most brilliant gall in my graduating class, and when she left me, I lost all sense of direction. I grew so much with her. If I was a decent man before her, for her, I wanted to be excellent. I felt I had amassed so much love for her, and when everything ended, I didn't know what to do with it. It felt cruel and self-destructive to watch it fizzle unspectacularly into nothingness. Since I couldn't dissipate all this in a day or a week or a month, I directed it somewhere and I ended up in a very productive reconstruction period. I describe what this period consisted of below. So, she met me at the tail end of this period and she didn't know what to do with me. Anyway, she taught me myself. Worth wasn't tied to anyone in particular and that I was worthy of anyone's love. She made me aware of my qualities, my aptitudes, my moral compass, my devotion to social justice, my artistic outlets, and my discipline to better myself. I gave myself to others, I taught English to immigrants after work, and volunteered as an interpreter at a free clinic. I helped my family, especially my younger brother, on his school homework and projects. I became a really competent colleague. I mastered a stem cell isolation protocol at my research lab, becoming the reason a project became even viable. At this point, I was only 1 year out from undergraduate school. I invested in caring for my body. What little free time I had, I spent in the gym in the morning. I also biked to work, swam twice a week, and joined a boxing gym. This didn't pan out too well. I was in the best shape of my life. I also tailored my clothes, cared for my teeth, and developed a skincare routine. I grew as an artist. I got rid of my TV at home and started writing short stories and poetry. I've published some of my work in my medical school journal. I also learned a new recipe once a week. Last but not least, I had a purpose. I applied to and was accepted to medical school. I got a scholarship and I kept it very quiet from mostly everyone, except for her, 2 friends, and my mother. I'm currently in 3rd year and I aspire to become a surgeon. A girl I was making out with on a business trip said you must have at least 5 girls chasing you back home. You're an amazing kisser. That felt nice. Also felt ironic because I hadn't kissed a woman in like a year at the time, and exactly no women were chasing me back home. A year? You slut? Kissing? Ever? You hoovers. Men's happiness doesn't matter. It's their job to make women happy in life. My ex-wife, you seem super kind, fun, and are very attractive. Not sure why you put up with someone who treats you like that when there are plenty of women who will treat you way better like you deserve. The stranger at the bar who pretty much sealed the deal on my decision to divorce my now ex-wife. I'm glad you got out to that relationship if she thinks like that. Your happiness matters. Thanks. I learned that I prefer being single now and have never been happier in life. It's okay. You can cry is what my girlfriend told me when I tried to keep it together, when I told her my best friend had committed suicide. Broke down in her arms. Cried for a good 40 minutes. I'm so sorry for your loss. My condolences. It is absolutely okay to cry. I hope you're still with your girlfriend. More stories on the channel. RedStore.